GM is recalling the 6.2-liter engines in the following vehicles. We're looking at 2021 to 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500, the Tahoe, the Suburban, the GMC Sierra 1500, the Yukon XL, the Cadillac Escalade, and the Escalade ESV models, all of them that are equipped with the 6.2-liter engine. That is the L87. They are looking to resolve manufacturing issues. The parts affected are the connecting rods and or the crankshaft. The problem, unspecified manufacturing defects. If you believe you are part of this recall, please contact your local GM dealership for more information and to schedule an appointment for an inspection. Hopefully, the trucks on the dealership lots are under quarantine as they cannot be sold until this problem is resolved. We are going to look at an article from GM Authority for more information. Dane, did you know about this?
I've been, I don't want to say keeping a close eye, but I've been keeping tabs on it, what's been happening. And it's odd that nothing more detailed has come out, but it was kind of a big deal where, at first it was, there's a few people complaining, and then there's more people complaining, and then there's this, investigation opened by the NFTA or whatever that is.
So, yeah.
Yeah, National Highway Safety something. But anyways,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, GM recalls everything 21 and 24 on trucks, basically.
Mhm.
And like, holy cow! Not only did they issue a recall for all of them, they also issued a stop sale. So you can't even sell the vehicle. You could probably sell person to person, but you can't sell. The dealers can't sell them anymore
Right.
without going through a full inspection.
Right. So let's look at this article from GM Authority. And I also found it looks like the service bulletin that the technicians are going to get to look at before
Yep.
they inspect your car or your truck. So we'll look at that next. But this is an article in GM Authority by George Barta. Mr. Barta, what do you have to say to us today? As we discussed, some 2021 to 2024 GMs are included in a safety recall, and that refers to a problem in which the engine, the 6.2-liter engine, has manufacturing defects that can lead to a loss of propulsion, engine damage, and engine failure. Looks like, as Dane pointed out, we've known about this issue a little bit. There's been lawsuits, there's been investigations and engine replacements, but they are going to voluntarily recall these vehicles to resolve manufacturing defects. The safety and satisfaction of our customers are the high priorities for the entire GM team, and we're working to address this matter as quickly as possible. That is what GM said to us as we discussed. Looks like it's the rods and or the crankshaft components.
hmm
Something's going on.
Yeah, that's way worse than the original lifter bore deal that was kind of originally thought of.
Yeah, I think that was another issue we talked about before.
hmm
Okay, so they're going to inspect your vehicle, and if they pass the inspection, they will receive an oil change and a new oil filter, and they're going to start using a higher viscosity oil. They are going to go to 0W40 Mobile One Supercar oil. And right now, the owner's manual says you're supposed to use 0W20, so that is thinner. They're also going to put a new oil fill cap on. That's probably just like on the cap where it says what type of oil to use.
That's exactly what that is. And then there's like an insert tab that's going to go inside of your owner's manual too that says to use
Yeah,
040 oil now instead of the 020.
yeah. Thank you. How'd you know that? I was about to talk about that in the next
I
in
said
the
I've been
service.
keeping tabs.
Dave, you know it all before I even say it. What's going
Well,
on?
not all the time, but I was
All right.
nervous. I'm like, no, GM, don't be like Ford. They're being like Ford right now.
Yo, one time I was at Cummins and they wanted to change the oil weight on one of the engines,
hmm
and I had to like they wanted to put a sticker on there instead of replacing the whole thing. So I had to like go and find somebody to make a sticker, but I forget if they actually went with that. But yeah, that's one of the tasks I had to do as an engineer there. You guys, sometimes engineers are just doing stuff that's kind of not that
Yeah, I remember
glorious.
doing lots of oil testing at the tech center where we did like it's like oil, it was like oil dilution or oil debris testing.
Oh,
So you
okay.
put like diesel fuel in the oil to simulate like an injector failure and run the engines like that to
Oh,
where basically the engine oil's broken down big time to see how it affects the bearings, make sure they can live and last. Or you put small like really fine particle like silica sand in the oil to where it's smaller than what the filter can handle, and again
oh,
see how the bearings and the crank journals and rod journals and all that stuff can hold up or how they break down over time.
okay.
So yeah, the manufacturers do a lot of testing with oils.
All right. So yeah, it looks like they've decided to change the oil. Let's look at this. This is from gmtrucks.com. I just found out about this website. I'm gonna start using it.
Hmm.
But looks like they got some good info. This is the safety recall. And you see all those models as we talked about, 21 to 24. DD, you're gonna get oil filter and oil cap, as Dane mentioned. That's better than a sticker.
Hmm.
So let's see what else. All right, so this is the inspection. This is the service procedure that the technicians are going to go by at the dealership, and it's like they are going to check for DTC P00. Six. Let me
Should be
make
one
it bigger.
six.
16. Okay.
Yep.
And if the DTC is not set, continue to step 2, which is so if this doesn't have the DTC, they're just going to change the oil. So drain the engine oil and put a new filter on.
Hmm.
0W40 with a new oil fill cap, and print the language owner's manual insert, as Dane was saying. They're going to put that in the owner's manual. All right. So yeah. Now, what we're trying to figure out is if it is set, what are they going to do? I think
Well, if
they haven't figured it out yet, right?
engine repair or engine replacement would be what the next step is if it has that code.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
But if
but
it doesn't have the code, it's just an oil change with adding those extra things.
all right. So it says step 3 or number 3. If P0016 is present, the vehicle is quarantined and a repair or engine replacement may follow.
Hmm.
So you're going to get quarantined like is the pandemic, and I'm not sure if they're going to just replace the connecting rods or if they're going to replace the whole engine. I'm not sure
I'm
what's going
guessing
to happen at that
crankshaft
point.
and bearings, but at that point, you might as well do the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
got to come
so.
out anyways.
They're saying some people believe the engine should have required 0W40 from day one.
Probably.
Let's see. Well, we don't know. We don't know for sure. The 0W20, I believe, is a little bit better for miles per gallon, maybe. This is the lighter weight.
Yeah, and machining tolerances are really, really good nowadays for the most part. And so if your machining tolerances are that good, you can get away with those thinner oils. But if you had a bad day or maybe a bad 4 years in General Motors case,
Mhm.
you might need that little bit of extra oil to help cover up some of those mistakes.
Oh, maybe. All right. So yeah, that is what we got for that situation. This is sad. Let's go to the comments in
Oh
the
man, are
oh
people
wait,
mad in the comments before we even get there? Do you know?
oh yeah, they're gonna be a little bit mad.
Oh boy, yeah, I can see this being just as bad or worse than the Toyota thing, where they're like, "I don't want an oil change. I want a new motor."
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what the Toyota guys wanted.
Yeah,
That's,
exactly.
that's what they wanted. Now let's see. One thing I wanted to mention. Let me see. If you go back to the GM trucks
Hmm.
or gm-trucks.com on this story, if you could check your VIN using the General Motors recall lookup website or the brand's mobile app. So if you have a VIN or if you have one of these trucks, you could go get the link or find it on Google and look up to see if your VIN is affected.
Correct.
So let's look at the comments. I'm a little scared. I think they might be mad.
Yeah, there might be some words we can't repeat.
All right, let's see. This guy says, "What if you have already replaced an engine because of this? On my second engine now that just started having symptoms." Uh-oh. I
It's
don't know, bird's eye.
probably the same thing. It's probably still covered.
Probably. Yeah,
I
probably.
mean, if they
Yeah,
didn't
because
know
the
about
new
this
engine,
issue, hmm?
right. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say if they didn't know about this issue until basically this year or within the last 6 to 9 months, anything that was made prior to that is still going to probably have the same problem. So if this is already replaced, and it was still made. This engine I'm guessing you have was made before then. It's going to fall under the same blanket. You should be covered.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your new engine is still under warranties
Mhm.
again, so it should be all right. But contact them to make sure. This guy says no recall on the coolant control valves. What is that? Have you
I
heard
don't.
about problem with that?
No, that's news to me. So I'm not aware of that one. Maybe that's another potential issue. I'm not even sure what that does.
Oh, we don't know about that one.
Coolant control valve. Yeah, only thing I can think of for that is like something for the heater core or the HVAC system.
Yeah.
There's not usually a valve in the engine for any reason for coolant control.
Sometimes with these new engines, they got
I
to heat
don't
up so fast. Some of them have valves for that, but I'm not sure if that's what he's talking
I
about.
don't believe so on these. I mean, I had well, it's not an apples to apples. I've got a 6.2 out of a 2017 Corvette in my garage. It's basically the same engine. There's some slight differences, but the base is about the same.
All right. All right. Sorry. We have a question from Jeff Kraft. Will the 2025 6.2 benefit from 0W20 oil?
You want to know
I
what I
think
do?
it has that. Oh,
Yeah, I think
that's not
that's
under the recall. All right.
yeah. The 25 is out of the recall, and I'm guessing the 25 probably came from the factory with that recommendation, the 020, just
Yeah.
like the 21 and 24s did. So if I had a 25, I would be putting 040 in it.
Yeah, I think maybe he meant to say, will it benefit from the 0W40 oil?
Yeah,
Because it has 0W20 now, I believe. We could look it up.
yeah. I'm not sure where you live, Jeff, but I would use 040. And if you're in a northern state like me in Minnesota, I would just give it a little more time on the first startup and before you take off and go. But any other time of the year, you'll be good.
All right, we got to do some nerd research. Hold on.
Hmm.
The people need the research.
They need to know. But yeah,
All
going
right,
with that extra weight isn't going to hurt.
let's see. I looked it up on Google.
That shouldn't say weight. It should be viscosity. You know what the W stands for in that?
Winter.
It does. Yeah, most people think it's weight. It's winter. That's just the winter or cold rating. What, at 0 degrees, I believe is where that rating's at.
All right, so here we go. I believe this answers the question. The 2025 Chevy Silverado 6.2, it looks like it is 0W40, 8 quarts. So
Oh,
if
I'd
you
keep it
wanted
at 40.
to change it, was it's 0W20.
Oh, I thought you said 40. Okay, yeah, so
Oh,
0 20, that's
sorry.
what the recommendation is from the factory. And now they're saying 040 for the 21 and 24s. If I got a 25, I'm putting 040 in it.
You would put 040. Yeah.
100%.
Well, that probably wouldn't hurt.
It's not going to hurt. Like I said, if it's dead of winter, super cold on startup, I'd give it a good 20, 30 seconds before you go anywhere.
I would
Um,
ask the
but
dealership before you do it because I don't know. They might
ask me.
I don't want them to void your warranty if they find out you did that without asking.
I don't think they would. I don't think they'd have a way to tell either. But
They could send out for an oil sample.
maybe,
They probably
maybe.
won't though.
Yeah, it's such a small thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just be aware of what the difference is between 020 and 040. It's 040 is just going to have a little more viscosity at operating temperature.
Yeah. All right, and remember it's not just 0W40 any type of oil. It also has to meet the GM spec.
Hmm.
So don't just go to the dollar store and get 0W40 oil.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I saw
what is
some.
the name of the GM spec? Is Dexos?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Dexos?
Yeah, Dexos sounds right. DXOS.
Let's see. You're getting
There you go.
real-time nerd research, you guys. All
Dexos
right,
1.
Dexos 1, 3rd gen. All right. So yeah, get the right Dexos rating. It's very important because we got direct injection, we got turbos. Well, not in this one, but other things
Yeah.
have turbos. All right.
I did see something too that they also recommended oil changes go down to 5,000 miles, not like the 15,000 where they were at or whatever it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't look, I don't care what they say. I'm not waiting more than 5,000 miles to change my oil.
Nope.
I don't care who said it. It
Yeah,
could be 10,000 miles.
you won't find anybody that argues this point. You cannot change your oil too much.
I know. You could change it every day if you want.
Change it every day. You cannot change your oil too much. So if the factory recommends 15,000, now they're saying they have issues, and now they're saying do it at 5, do it at 3 or whatever, right? Just change it a bunch, send it off, get an oil sample, cut your filter open if you need to check for any kind of metal shavings in your oil filter that it's catching that could be a sign of something to come or something to be aware of or watch out for. So there's things you can do here.
Yeah. All right, we got a comment says interesting. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but yeah, the thing is, this is a disappointing thing. Every manufacturer goes through recalls. Toyota just had a big one. Ford had like 5 in one day, one time recently. So
They had like 5 in a
I don't
month for
know.
every month for like 3-4 years. They were in bad shape.
What are you gonna do? These things happen, but we will get through it. Dana might have to come out of retirement and go work at a GM dealerships to fix all these engines. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I like what this is going to do to the value of General Motors trucks because for somebody that's in the market for one like myself, maybe I could
Yeah,
probably get one
maybe.
for cheap and then pull the motor apart myself.
There you go. All right, let's look
Mhm.
at a couple more comments, then we'll get to the next story. Let's see. But cheapest parts from the lowest bidder with questionable quality control. All my life, never doubted GM small block V8s were bulletproof. I thought they were bulletproof. I'm now a 55 model myself with a long list of GM V8 models since my 65 El Camino with a 327 at age 15. You had a car at age 15? I barely had a bike.
I did. I had 2 before I was 16.
I didn't get a car till I was 21, and I
Yeah.
moved out. I had to work like 2 days straight of 20-hour days.
I lived in a place where people look the other way for child labor. For real, I was working on farms when I was like 11 years old, like baling hay and doing manual labor, back-breaking stuff from a pretty
Mm,
young age. So I had a little bit of money, but before I turned 16 to buy a car.
wow, I was sweeping up hair in a barber shop when I was a
That's good though,
teenager.
man.
It was good.
You
I
should
didn't
be
have enough
working.
money to buy a car.
Yeah, but
All right,
whatever.
some of my friends were stealing cars.
Yeah, but like the first car I bought was $800. The second one I bought before I was 16 was 200. So it wasn't like I was buying nice stuff. They're basically junk.
Yeah, my friends were like, "Hey, Mike, you want to come steal a car with us?" I was like, "Hell no!" It's like, man, my mom will kill me if I stole a car.
Exactly. Jail does not sound fun,
Oh no. Yeah,
especially
one
when
of them
you're.
went to jail too.
Jeez,
That's back when they used to put kids in jail.
I know. The good
At least
times.
less cars got stolen in our neighborhood while he was in jail.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Well, look, I don't know. He says, "What happened to GM?" I mean, look, it's one engine. There are several other engines in these trucks. I mean, this is one thing. We will get through it
Yeah,
together. Okay, it'll be all right.
100%. I thought the same thing. I was like, dude, you had a whole lifetime of bulletproof motors. What the heck? Well, er- er- nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since 1955 is when the very first small block Chevy was made, or at least the quote unquote SBC. But yeah, whatever. You go all that time, you go 70 years or more without a single major recall. You
Yeah.
did pretty good.
We'll
So
be all
we'll take
right.
care of you. We'll get
All right.
back on the right track.
Let's look at this last comment. Just had mine replaced a month ago. All the signs of failure were evident when the dealer pulled the oil pan and inspected the bottom end. Heavy amount of bearing material in the pan. Scored rod bearings with number 7 spun. I don't
Mhm.
see how a fault code concerning the camshaft position sensor could catch the main issue. Yeah, that I don't know. I'm not sure how they figured that out. It's like cam crank alignment or
Yeah.
like they're not in sync is that code.
Yeah.
So maybe
That
it
one,
could catch it. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know enough about it, but I kind of thought the same thing too. And I was like, seeing that, I was like, usually you're not going to get a code for a bearing failure. You're going to get like a misfire or something like that. So I'm not sure how sensitive the cam to crank is. And even then,
Mm.
they're chain locked together. A bearing failure is not going to change that. It didn't make sense. This is an oil pressure issue, and it wasn't long enough oil pressure to move the cam phasing. Yeah, I didn't quite understand that. But this guy brings up a good point. When they dropped the oil pan and saw metal shavings, you can catch this early, like we were saying, by removing your oil filter. If you don't know how to cut your oil filter open, there's lots of short YouTube videos you can watch, but open up your oil filter, pull out all that fine paper, and you can look at it. Hold a flashlight up to it. Is there any shiny metal in it? If there is, you probably have a major problem coming. Get ahead of it.
Yeah, there are tools that you can get that'll open that oil filter, like it'll score it the top off, and you could pull the paper off easier.
Yeah, you might be able to use a can opener, and just like
Can opener.
for real, that's all you're doing is
Yeah.
that, pull the filter out, and then just lay that filter all the way out. You cut it and then just spread it all the way out as far as it'll go, and then just inspect it really close with like a flashlight. Make sure there's no metal shavings.
All right.
Mhm.
So the code was P0018, right?
6.
It was 16.
I believe it was 16.
All right. P0016 indicates a misalignment between the crankshaft and camshaft positions, specifically in bank 1 sensor A. This usually means the engine's timing is off and the computer is receiving conflicting signals from the crankshaft position sensor and the camshaft position sensor. All right. When these signals are not correlated, the ECM flags P016. It could be faulty sensors, timing chain or timing belt issues, wiring problems, tone ring damage, or oil issues, low or dirty oil. So I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe if the oil they're saying is supposed to be 0W20, maybe if that oil is signaling like the oil is low or dirty, like I guess it would be dirty in this case, then maybe that could trigger it. So that means
No,
that the oil needs to be 0W40. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't understand how the low and dirty can affect anything.
All right.
Because like I said, the cam and the crank are locked together with a chain. So there needs to be a significant amount of slop, or it needs to be off a tooth for something like that to happen. So
these sensors are very
yeah.
very fine-tuned, but I don't know. That's what we got for you today. Dayton, this is depressing. We need to go on to something that is a little bit that lift our spirits a little bit, I think.
Okay. Awesome.
So
Street
I
car
have
takeover videos.
no, this is somebody trolling, which is one of my favorite things to do, but I try not to do it that much anymore. All right, this is X Fashion XO on the Grizzam, and this is a new thing, I guess, where you see somebody that's had an accident, and then you'll drive by and say you can't park there.
Oh boy.
Have you seen this before?
No, I have not.
All right, let me say.
It sounds ruthless though.
Hey, you can't park there. Appreciate you. Hey, you can't park there. You can't park there.
Oh, car's in a tree, and he's like, can't park there. Oh boy.
Don't do it, please. If you want me to.
Don't do it.
Please don't. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Hey, you can't park there.
That's what I said. He said, that's what I said.
Oh, that's brutal.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm on the phone.
Yeah, you can't park there.
Say, bruh, you can't park there. You guys, you can't park there. But you still can't park. Excuse me, you can park here.
Sounds like
Can't
the first
park
person
there.
to say that.
Hey,
We're back to these
Oh,
guys.
this is
again.
a guy. Oh
People
my
get
god.
mad. Holy cow.
Oh man, let's look at the comments. This guy said the first guys passed the vibe check and knew the joke. Yeah.
Oh, it's brutal, man.
This guy says why the guys are so chill and the girl so mad with the joke.
You caught those girls at a bad day, and they're already terrible drivers.
Oh man, that's crazy. All right. One more funny Instagram, and then we'll go to the next story.
Mhm.
That was fun. Dane, you think I should do that if I ever see somebody next?
I know you're going to.
I gotta try not to, because somebody had road rage against me real bad one time. So I
Oh.
tried to stop messing with people anymore.